My beloved child, listen carefully because this message is not reaching you by accident, it is reaching you at the exact moment your soul is ready to hear it, and there is something deeper happening behind the silence you have been feeling, behind the distance that has been confusing your heart, because the person you call your soulmate, the one your spirit still feels connected to no matter how much time or space has come between you, is not as okay as they seem. They are not as happy as they pretend to be in front of the world, and even though their smile may look real to others, even though they laugh and act like everything is perfectly fine, God sees through every mask, through every forced expression, through every hidden tear that falls when no one is watching, and what God sees is a truth that your heart has already been trying to tell you but your mind keeps questioning. Your soulmate is hurting in silence. They are carrying emotions they don't know how to express. They are pretending because they feel like they have no other choice, because sometimes people learn to hide their pain so well that even the ones who love them the most start to doubt what they feel, and this is where you are right now, caught between what you feel deep inside and what you see on the outside, and it's confusing you, it's making you question everything. But let this be clear, your intuition is not lying to you, that quiet voice inside you that keeps whispering, something is not right is not there for no reason, it is there because your soul is still connected to theirs on a level that goes beyond words, beyond logic, beyond physical presence, and that connection is allowing you to feel what they are trying so hard to hide, because no matter how far they go, no matter how much they try to act like they've moved on, a soulmate connection does not break that easily. It doesn't disappear just because one person chooses to hide, it lingers. It speaks in silence, it reaches through energy, and right now it is reaching you with a message you cannot ignore anymore. They are not happy without you. They are trying to convince themselves that they are trying to build a life that looks complete on the outside, but inside there is a void that nothing else seems to fill, and that void has your name written all over it, and the reason they are pretending is not because they don't care, it's because they care too much and they don't know how to handle it. They are afraid of their own feelings. Afraid of what it means to truly face what they feel for you, because loving you was never something simple for them, it shook them, it changed them, it made them see parts of themselves they were not ready to confront, and instead of facing that transformation, they chose to run from it, to hide behind a version of themselves that looks strong, that looks unbothered, that looks happy, but God sees the nights they spend overthinking. God hears the silent prayers they don't even realize they are making. God feels the weight in their heart that they try so hard to ignore, and God is not blind to the connection you both share. This is not something that was created randomly, this is not just another passing attachment, this is something that was written long before you even met, something that was meant to awaken both of you, to teach both of you, to transform both of you, and transformation is never easy. It often comes with confusion, with distance, with moments that feel like everything is falling apart, but sometimes things fall apart because they are being realigned in a way you cannot yet understand, and this is one of those moments. This is not the end of your story, this is a chapter where truths are being revealed behind the scenes, where God is working in ways you cannot see yet, where your soulmate is being confronted with emotions they can no longer keep buried forever. Because pretending has its limits, and sooner or later the truth always finds a way to surface, no matter how deep it is hidden, and the truth is that their heart still pulls towards you, their thoughts still wander back to you, their soul still recognizes yours even if their ego tries to deny it, and this internal battle they are facing is exhausting them, It is breaking down the walls they have built, slowly but surely, and you may not see it happening right now. You may feel like nothing is changing, like they have completely moved on, like they don't care anymore, but that is only the surface, and you are not meant to judge this connection based on what is visible on the surface. You are meant to trust what is felt in the unseen, because that is where the real story is unfolding, and God is asking you to have patience, not the kind of patience that comes from waiting in pain, but the kind that comes from understanding that everything is happening for a reason, that every delay, every silence, every moment of confusion is part of a bigger plan that is aligning things in the right time and the right way, because if this connection is meant to come back together, it will not be forced, it will not be rushed, it will happen when both souls are ready, when both hearts have learned what they needed to learn, when both of you have grown into the versions of yourselves that can handle the depth of this bond. And right now your soulmate is still in that process. They are still learning, still breaking, still trying to understand themselves, and until they face their truth completely, they will continue to pretend, they will continue to hide behind a mask of happiness, but masks cannot stay forever, they eventually crack, they eventually fall, and when that happens, everything they have been holding inside will come to the surface, and that will be a moment of truth, a moment where they can no longer run from what they feel, and when that moment arrives, the direction of this connection will become clear in a way it has never been before, but until then, you are being guided to focus on yourself, to strengthen your own heart, to not lose yourself in the waiting, because this journey is not only about them, it is also about you, about your growth, your healing, your strength, your ability to trust without needing constant proof, and that is not easy. It requires faith, real faith, the kind that believes even when there is no visible evidence, the kind that stays grounded even when emotions try to pull you into doubt, and that is what God is building within you right now, a stronger version of yourself that does not break easily, that does not depend on external validation to feel secure, that understands that what is truly meant will never be lost, and what is not meant will never stay no matter how hard you try to hold on, and this understanding is powerful. It sets you free from fear, from overthinking, from the need to control everything. Because the truth is, you cannot control another person's journey, you cannot force them to face their feelings, you cannot make them stop pretending before they are ready, but you can control how you respond, how you protect your energy, how you continue to grow and move forward without losing hope, and that balance is what will carry you through this phase, because this is just a phase, not the final outcome, not the end of your story, just a moment in time where things feel uncertain but are actually being aligned in a way that will make sense later, and one day you will look back at this period and realize why everything had to happen the way it did, why the distance was necessary, why the silence had a purpose, why the pretending had to exist before the truth could be fully revealed, and on that day, everything will feel clear, everything will feel aligned, everything will feel exactly the way it was always meant to be, but until that day comes, hold on to your inner knowing, trust the connection you feel, trust the signs that keep appearing, trust the way your heart recognizes something deeper than what the eyes can see, because God is not finished with this story yet, and neither is your soulmate. No matter how much they try to convince themselves otherwise, their journey is still leading them back to a truth they cannot escape, a truth that has your presence written into it, and when they finally stop pretending, when they finally allow themselves to feel without fear, without resistance, without running, that truth will become impossible to ignore, and everything that feels hidden right now will come into the light, exactly when it is meant to. My beloved child. There is something even deeper that you must understand now, something that most people never realize until it is too late, and that is the fact that when someone is pretending to be happy, especially your soulmate, it is not just a simple act, it is a survival mechanism, it is a shield they have built to protect themselves from a truth that feels too heavy to carry. And right now your soulmate is standing at a crossroads within their own heart, a place where they are constantly choosing between what they truly feel and what they believe they are supposed to feel, and that inner conflict is slowly exhausting them in ways they cannot even explain to anyone, because from the outside everything seems fine, everything looks stable, everything looks like they have moved on, but inside there is a storm that never really calms down, a storm that carries your name in every wave, in every memory, in every quiet moment where they are left alone with their thoughts. And this is the part you don't see, this is the part they will never show openly, because they have convinced themselves that hiding it is the only way to keep their life under control. They believe that if they allow those feelings to surface, everything they have built will collapse, everything they have tried to move on with will lose its meaning, and so they keep pretending, they keep smiling, they keep acting like nothing is missing, but God sees the emptiness behind their eyes. God feels the heaviness in their chest. God knows that no matter how far they try to run, they cannot outrun a connection that was written into their soul, and that is why things in their life may not feel as fulfilling as they expected. That is why even when they achieve moments of happiness, something still feels incomplete, something still feels like it's not enough, and that something is not just a random feeling, it is the absence of the connection they tried to suppress. It is the echo of what they left behind, and that echo keeps calling them back in ways they cannot fully ignore. You must understand this clearly. They are not at peace, they are in a constant state of distraction, keeping themselves busy, surrounding themselves with noise, with people, with activities, anything that helps them avoid sitting in silence for too long. Because silence is where the truth becomes loud, silence is where your presence returns to their mind without warning, and every time that happens, they feel a mixture of emotions they don't know how to handle: longing, regret, confusion, fear, and even hope. Yes, hope, because a part of them still wonders what would happen if they stopped pretending, if they turned around and faced what they feel instead of running from it. But that part of them is still small, still fragile, still fighting against the stronger part that is driven by fear and ego. And this battle is not something that resolves overnight. It takes time, it takes experiences, it takes moments where reality starts to break the illusion they have created, and those moments are coming, slowly but surely, because no illusion can survive forever when it is built on avoidance, and God is allowing certain situations to unfold in their life that will force them to question everything. Situations that will make them realize that pretending is not the same as healing, that moving on without closure is not the same as letting go, and that happiness cannot truly exist where truth is being denied. And when those realizations begin to hit them, it will not be easy for them, it will shake them, it will make them uncomfortable, it will bring emotions to the surface that they have been suppressing for so long, and in those moments, your energy will become even more present in their mind, not because you are doing anything, but because the connection itself is designed to resurface when truth is being revealed. And this is why you may have felt sudden shifts in your own emotions, moments where you randomly think about them more intensely, moments where you feel their energy without any clear reason, moments where your heart feels heavier or more connected out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, these are reflections of what is happening on a deeper level between both of you. Because soulmate connections are not limited by physical distance, they operate through energy, through subconscious awareness, through a bond that does not require constant communication to exist, and right now that bond is becoming more active, more intense, because something is shifting on their side even if it is not visible yet, and you are being asked to trust that shift without needing immediate proof, because what is happening is internal, it is subtle, it is something that will show itself only when the time is right, and until then, you must guard your own heart, not by closing it, but by strengthening it, by understanding that your worth is not defined by their actions or their silence, by realizing that you are not meant to chase what is already connected to you on a soul level, because what is truly yours will never require you to beg for its presence, it will come to you naturally when the time is aligned, and this is where many people lose their power, they start doubting themselves, they start questioning their value. They start thinking that if the other person is acting happy without them, then maybe the connection was not real, but that is not the truth. The truth is that people can pretend for a long time, they can convince others, they can even try to convince themselves, but they cannot fool God, and they cannot silence a connection that was created beyond their control, and your soulmate is learning this lesson in their own way, through their own experiences, through their own struggles. And you are learning your lesson as well, the lesson of patience, of self-worth, of trust, of emotional strength, and these lessons are shaping both of you into the people you need to become before anything can truly come together in a stable and lasting way, because without this growth, the connection would not survive, it would fall back into confusion, into imbalance, into the same patterns that created the distance in the first place, and that is not what God wants for you. God wants something real, something stable, something that is built on truth and not on illusion. And for that to happen, both of you must face your truths completely, not partially, not with hesitation, but fully, and right now your soulmate is still in the process of breaking through their own denial, still in the process of realizing that pretending is only delaying the inevitable, and that inevitable truth is that their heart has not moved on the way they claim it has, their soul has not disconnected the way they pretend it has. And no matter how much they try to build a life that excludes you, something always feels like it's missing, something always pulls them back internally, and that pull will only grow stronger as time goes on, because truth does not fade, it intensifies when ignored, and eventually it demands to be acknowledged, and when that moment comes, everything they have been avoiding will stand right in front of them, clear and undeniable, and in that moment they will have a choice. To continue pretending and live a life that feels incomplete, or to finally face what they feel and take a step towards the truth they have been running from, and that choice will define everything that comes next, but until that moment arrives, you are being guided to stay centered, to not lose yourself in their process, to not let their silence or their actions create doubt within you, because your journey is just as important, your growth is just as necessary, and your peace should never be dependent on someone else's confusion, and the more you understand this, the more you step into your own power, the more you detach from the need to control the outcome, the more you allow things to unfold naturally, the closer everything moves towards the alignment that is already being prepared behind the scenes, and this is why you must remain strong, remain patient, remain aware, because what is happening right now is not random, it is part of something much bigger than what you can currently see. And every step, every emotion, every moment of uncertainty is leading towards a truth that will eventually reveal itself in a way that cannot be misunderstood, and when that happens, you will finally see why everything had to unfold exactly the way it did. My beloved child. Now you are ready to hear the part that most people are not strong enough to accept, the part that requires real inner strength, because what is happening between you and your soulmate is not just about love, it is about awakening, it is about transformation, it is about two souls being pushed to confront parts of themselves they have been avoiding for a long time, and this is why the connection feels so intense, so confusing, so impossible to forget, because it was never meant to be ordinary, it was meant to shake you, to break illusions, to bring hidden truths to the surface, and right now your soulmate is standing in the middle of that transformation whether they realize it or not. They are being guided, slowly but firmly, towards a truth they can no longer escape, and even though they are still pretending, even though they are still trying to hold on to a version of reality that feels safe and controlled, that version is starting to crack, it is starting to lose its hold on them, because deep inside they are beginning to feel something they cannot ignore anymore, a growing discomfort with the life they are presenting to the world, a quiet realization that something is missing, something is not aligned, something does not feel true, and that realization is the beginning of everything changing, because once a person becomes aware that they are living in a way that is not aligned with their truth, they cannot go back to being completely comfortable in that illusion. They can try, they can pretend even harder, but the discomfort will remain, it will grow, it will keep reminding them that something needs to be faced, and that something is the truth of their feelings, the truth of the connection they tried to bury, the truth of what their heart still holds for you. And this is where fear begins to lose its power, because truth is stronger than fear when it is fully realized, and your soulmate is slowly moving towards that realization, step by step, experience by experience, moment by moment, and you may not see these steps, you may not witness these changes directly, but they are happening, and you are feeling the echoes of those changes within yourself, because your connection is still active on a deeper level, it is still communicating in ways that go beyond physical interaction, and that is why you sometimes feel sudden waves of emotion, sudden clarity, sudden longing, or even sudden peace, because you are tapping into the same energetic shift that they are going through, and this is not something to fear, it is something to understand, something to observe without letting it consume you, because this phase is not meant to break you, it is meant to strengthen you, it is meant to prepare you for what is coming next, and what is coming next is not something that can be forced, it is something that will unfold naturally when the time is right, because divine timing is not based on your impatience or your doubts, it is based on alignment, it is based on readiness. It is based on both souls reaching a point where they can face each other without running, without hiding, without pretending. And your soulmate is not fully there yet, but they are getting closer, closer than you think, because every moment they spend pretending is also a moment that brings them closer to realizing that pretending is not sustainable, that it does not bring real peace, that it does not fulfill the deeper needs of their soul, and this realization is powerful, it is the turning point that shifts everything. Because once they truly accept that they are not happy the way they claim to be, once they stop denying what they feel, everything they have been holding back will begin to surface, and when it does, it will not be quiet, it will not be subtle, it will be overwhelming, it will demand attention, it will push them to make a choice they can no longer avoid, and that choice will not be easy, it will require courage, it will require honesty. It will require them to let go of the image they have been maintaining and step into a truth that feels uncertain but real, and this is where many people hesitate, this is where fear tries to take control again, this is where they are tempted to go back to pretending because it feels safer than facing the unknown, but the difference now is that they will be aware, they will know that they are choosing illusion over truth. And that awareness makes it harder to stay in that illusion, because once you see the truth, you cannot fully unsee it, you can ignore it, but it will always be there, waiting, reminding, pulling you back, and your soulmate will reach that point where ignoring it becomes more painful than facing it, and when that happens, everything will begin to shift in a way that you will finally be able to see, because their actions will start to reflect what their heart has been hiding, their words will start to align with what they truly feel, their energy will change, their presence will feel different, more real, more open, more honest, and you will recognize it. Not because you have been waiting for it desperately, but because your soul will feel the difference immediately, it will feel the truth in a way that cannot be mistaken, and that moment will bring clarity to everything that feels uncertain right now, but until that moment arrives, you must not lose yourself in anticipation, you must not put your life on hold waiting for them to reach their truth, because your journey is happening at the same time, your growth is just as important. Your alignment is just as necessary, and the more you focus on becoming your strongest, most grounded self, the more you create a space where this connection can return in a healthy and stable way if it is meant to, because love alone is not enough to sustain a connection like this. It requires maturity, it requires understanding, it requires both people to be willing to face themselves honestly, and that is what this phase is preparing both of you for, even if it feels like distance, even if it feels like separation, even if it feels like uncertainty, it is actually a process of alignment, a process of growth, a process of transformation that is shaping the future of this connection in ways you cannot fully see yet, and this is why you are being asked to trust, not blindly, but consciously, to trust the process while also honoring yourself, to trust the connection while also maintaining your own peace, to trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and that what is unfolding right now is not a mistake. It is a necessary part of a much bigger story. A story that is still being written, a story that is not finished yet, and as long as God is involved in that story, as long as there is a deeper purpose behind this connection, nothing that is truly meant to happen will be lost, delayed maybe, misunderstood maybe, but never lost, and your soulmate, no matter how much they pretend right now, is being guided back to a truth they cannot escape forever. A truth that includes you in a way they are only beginning to understand, and when they finally stop pretending, when they finally stand in that truth without fear, without denial, without hesitation, that will be the moment where everything changes, not just for them, but for you as well, because that is when the connection moves from illusion into reality, from confusion into clarity, from distance into alignment, exactly the way it was always meant to.